It's time for the Northwoods Cooking Show. Starring Uncle Roy and Miss Callie, the troublemaking dog.
Hello and welcome to the Northwoods Cooking Show. I'm your host, Uncle Roy, and this is my lovely assistant, Miss Callie Ellie. Oh, Callie Ellie, come here. Oh, here she comes, Miss Callie Ellie. Oh, over here in position. Say hello, hello, hello. Oh, come here, Callie Ellie. Come here. Callie, come here. Over here and sit pretty. Oh, say hello to everybody. Hello. Oh, tired. She got a little eye infection. Oh, she's got to take her drops every morning and night. For the rest of her life, the poor thing. Well, on today's show, we're going to be making, a pecan pie. Now, we did one before, and it was a southern pecan pie, and that was because it used the traditional Karo syrup. This is going to be even more delicious because it's going to be using maple syrup instead. Oh, I can't wait for this one. But it's a time-consuming recipe. This one takes a while for chilling and stuff. You know, you got to refrigerate for 3 hours and stuff like that. Then we're going to be making a flan bundt cake, which has the flan pudding, on the top, and then has a caramel sauce that comes over it. But it's all in the pan upside down, and then it rises to the occasion and changes locations and stuff. And when you unveil it, it's like ooey gooey all over the place. So that one's gonna be good too, and that's another time-consuming one. So today's show is time-consuming desserts. I'm sorry, but they're delicious, and we're going to have to take time to do it. So my camera will be rolling and editing throughout the whole day as we make this process in a half an hour. So, of course, look, I think he's waiting for another tweet. Poor thing. We have to make my pie crust. Now, we've made my pie crust many times before, but in case everybody forgets, I'll just take and go through it real quickly, because we have to let this chill in the refrigerator for 15 minutes. And I only need a single crust, so I'm gonna take and cut this recipe in half. I forgot to do that, because I got the full recipe amount. Well, that don't matter. I can make the full recipe amount and just only make half the pie crust, and then the other half will be done, and I can put that in the freezer. There we go. And then I got a single pie crust for whenever I need one. There we go. We'll do it that way, Callie Ellies. Oh, she took off already. So, in the food processor, we need 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour, and to this we need a half teaspoon of the kosher salt. And I always use the kosher because it's less sodium because you're using less. And we just want to take and buzz this up for a couple seconds just to get that salt and flour mix. And then to this we need half a cup of cold butter. You want to make sure this is cold because we want it buzz this up into the flour. And so we want it to be in fine pieces, so we get like a coarse cornmeal. And we'll just cut this up into like about tablespoon sizes. And we also need a 1/4 cup of shortening. Cold, ice cold on that one too. And I already scooped it out, and I had it in the freezer for about 15 minutes, and that's enough to chill it out. Then we'll just take and buzz this a little bit until we get to like a coarse cornmeal. There we go. And then, I'm losing my voice today. We need 6 tablespoons ice cold water, 4 to 6. And we put this into the, drizzle this into the food processor until the dough forms a ball. There we go, stop. Because you don't want to overwork that dough. Because we want to roll this out. We want a light and flaky pie crust. So the more you handle it, the more that gluten's gonna toughen up. So, we only need half, and then I can freeze the other half. So I'll just cut this in half, not all the way down to the counter though. I don't want to make scratches in the countertop. And we can put this in a Ziploc bag, a freezer bag. I want this to chill out, so I'm gonna put this in the freezer for like 15 minutes, and then I'm gonna leave the other half in the freezer for whenever I need it. So while the pie crust is chilling out, we can toast up the pecans. Because we're gonna need a cup and a half of pecans. And I don't necessarily have to turn on the oven, but you can. We're gonna need it anyway. But what we want is a cup and a half of pecans, and you can just put these right in a frying pan. And then we just turn on the frying pan and we roast them up that way. It only takes like about 2 or 3 minutes. Now we'll just take and roll out our pie crust. This is all chilled now. Put a little flour on the countertop just to keep it from sticking. And you want to try and roll this out perfectly the first time. I know it's going to be kind of hard if you've never done it before. It takes practice, but the reason being is because if you have to take and re-roll this, it's going to dry and toughen out the pie crust. So it's important to try and get this perfectly rolled out the very first time. I know I'm not OCD myself. I know a lot of people that are. But it's just that the reason why you want it to be perfect is because we don't want to toughen it out if we have to re-roll it. And we're not going to re-roll it. Just roll that back up on the pan. Get that lined up. And then when you put your crust back into the pan, lift up and press down. You don't want to stretch it out and just start pushing in. Because if you stretch it out, when it bakes, it's going to tighten up on you and crack and break open. And then you get a mess of the filling in any of your pies all over the place. Okay, and then we can press down and pat that in. And we're doing a single one, so we don't need all this excess dough. So just take and cut. You still want to leave a little lip of dough hanging over, about 1/4 inch. But the excess you can cut off. And this dough, then you just take and you roll it under. All the way around the top of the pie shell. And then we go around and crimp it. And you just take your finger, push out, and then you take your index finger and thumb and pinch the pie together. So you push the crust out and then you pinch around your finger. And then you just do that all the way around. Okay, so that's our pie crust. Now for the filling. In a saucepan, 1 cup of maple syrup. I got pure maple syrup from Wisconsin. Woo-hoo-hoo. My home state. I know my dad used to can his own maple syrup in Wisconsin when we were growing up. And then we need a cup of light brown sugar. And this we're going to bring to a boil along, not just, all these ingredients we will, but not just these, we need more. And then we need a 1/2 cup of heavy cream. Ooh, Callie, look out. She don't care if I spill, she'll clean it up. One thing that's about having a dog in the kitchen when you're cooking. Make a spill, they clean it up. And we need also a tablespoon of molasses. And now we just heat this up until the brown sugar is dissolved, which will take about 2 to 3 minutes. And you don't have to bring it to a boil. You just, heat it up until it's dissolved. Then once the sugar is dissolved, we turn this off and we're gonna let this cool for at least 5 minutes. Then we're going to take and add 4 tablespoons of butter and a ½ teaspoon of the kosher salt. Now we just stir this until the butter is all melted. And the cold butter is going to help cool down the syrup even quicker, because we want to add 6 egg yolks that are beaten up. I'm going to add these to this mixture, and that's why we want it to cool down slightly, because if it's extremely hot, your eggs are going to turn into scrambled eggs. You know, so you want to cool it down. You don't want to put the egg yolks in there when it's extremely hot. Just wait for that butter to melt down. And that coldness of the butter is going to help cool down the liquid so that it's not hot and scrambling in your eggs. And I'm just going to whisk this in. You can smell the difference right away in the odor compared to the caramel syrup. And that's all well incorporated. And then we'll just put our toasted pecans into the bottom of the shell. Now my oven is preheated at 400 degrees. We're going to pour this now on top of the pecans, and this will go into our hot oven. The oven's preheated at 400 degrees. Put the pie into the oven, make sure your rack is at the lowest position, and then turn the oven down to 325, and we'll bake it for about 45, 50, 60 minutes until the top is set and it still jiggles when you shake it. If it's completely firm, it's overcooked. So you don't want to do that, because it's still going to cook when you take it out of the oven. So you want to take it out when it's slightly jiggly yet. It's about 45, 50 minutes, around in there. And you'll see when it's done, it'll be nice golden brown and it'll be set. And that'll be our pie. So now we'll be back in about an hour, 45 minutes or so. And this is the lovely pecan pie. Just took it out of the oven. And as you can see, it jiggles a little bit. Not completely set, but as it cools, it will set. Now we let this sit for 1 hour at room temperature. And then we're going to put it in the refrigerator and let it chill for 3 hours. Then when you go to serve it, let it come to room temperature before cutting. And this will be our lovely pecan pie. Ooh, Callie, does that look good? Anyway, we're going on now to the, what do we want to call it now? A Devil's Food Flan cake. Ooh, this is going to be rich. So, of course, we have to take and spray the bun pan. Can't forget that. And make sure you get the center. Got so easy. Forget, I've done it so many times. Caramel sauce. Ooh. You want a 12-ounce jar of caramel. This ooey gooiness gets poured on the bottom of your pan. Uncle Roy's going to have to shoot up a couple of units on this one. Ooh, rich, rich, rich. Then for the cake part, you can use any cake mix you want, Devil's Food. Any brand name is fine. You can even get the dry cheapy kind, which this is a cheapy kind, but this is still moist. But the thing is, we're going to add to it. So we're going to add 1 box of cake mix, 1 small box of instant chocolate pudding. Now, if you want to switch this around for vanilla, you can use vanilla pudding and use a yellow cake. We're going to do this in chocolate. You can do either or is fine. And then, here comes the strange part. Okay, I know I need 4 eggs. Gotta remember this recipe in my head here. And the liquid part. This is the strange part. We need, let's see, We want 1 cup of Coca-Cola. Or any kind of cola pop. I suppose any kind of pop too if you had Diet Coke or Dr. Pepper. The point is you want the caramel of the pop and the liquid carbonation. So 1 cup of Coke. Coca-Cola. And a 1/3 cup of water. And a 1/2 cup vegetable oil. Remember, any recipe that you have for cakes that calls for oil, you know it's going to turn out to be a very moist cake. Oil makes every cake moist. Fabulous. That's important for state fair competition and county fairs. Getting that oil on your cake so you got a very moist cake. Then we just mix this up slow till it's moist for about 30 seconds. And then we can beat it up for about 2.5 to 3 minutes. Then I got a 1/2 cup here of crushed, chopped up pecans. I just took and broke them up. The bottom of my cup, right on the countertop, and then I don't have to get out the chopper. Save a step. I mean, I got the choppers and they're nice, but I just don't like to go all the way down, back and forth, and dig them out and everything else when I could just go choom choom and get it over with. That's a 1/2 cup of the pecans. Hell yeah, we got a rich dessert here. She'll be up when it's all done, when it comes time to eat. Mooch, mooch, that's what she is. She's a big mooch now. When she's puppy, her nose would be right here and she'd be on my heels, begging for her samples. Now she waits till everything's all done and then she comes up and eats. She's a pig. She's a little piggly wiggly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Then, our cake batter. Oh, look how thick and rich this is. Oh, chocolate-ockities. Oh, Callie, oh, look at that. Don't you want to lick the beater, Callie? Mmm. Oh, chocolate beaters. Mmm. Cakers. Oh, oh. 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 I hear her jingling. She don't want, oh, here she comes. Here's the toy. Then we just pour this in to our bundt pan. This goes right on top of all those nuts, all those pecans, and caramel sauce. Paula Dean says, pecans and caramel. We would go caramel and pecans. Pecans. She goes pecans. And just take and spread this around. We're not even done yet. Okay, now that's the batter part on top of the pecans and the caramel sauce. Next, we need another bowl here. I'm gonna dirty every bowl in the house, Callie. 1 whole can of carnation milk. And a can of sweetened condensed milk. Uncle Roy's gonna have to shoot up the whole bottle on this one. This is very, very rich. Oh, Callie. Oh, here she comes. Then in this, we also need 3 eggs. Oh, she got her toy. She found her toy outside. Went to the grocery store. Was in the snowbank. Now she won't let go of it. Her little baby. Oh. Oh, she did. She did let go. Because she wants to come over for a sample. Don't you? Oh. Yeah, lick the spoon. Mmm. Not enough, you get sick. Just a little. Now, we mix this up. We got 1 can of carnation evaporated milk, 1 can of sweetened condensed milk, and 3 eggs. Mix this up thoroughly. My oven on? Nope. Put that oven on at 350. And then pour this right on top. But do it slowly and carefully. Try not to get it all in one spot so you end up with a hole in the batter. And then we're going to put water in the bottom pan. And this is going to be making a hot water bath because the flan part is what we just poured in, the egg mixture. And the hot water bath, what's going to happen now is this bakes. The cake's going to rise, the egg mixture sinks to the bottom, and the hot water around the pan cooks the egg mixture, so it's kind of like a custard. Then, when this is all done cooking, baking, and we invert that onto the serving tray. You got the chocolate cakes on the bottom with the flan, the custard-like pudding on top, and the rich caramel sauce coming down oozy-goozy all over it. Oh my Lord. This is just to die for. It's just so, so rich. But we put this into our oven now, and this gets baked until it's done, which is approximately an hour. Because that batter is really thick, that cake batter, it takes longer to bake, and you got all these other additives in there. So we'll check that in about an hour. And of course, you know, the cake will be floating then on the top of a toothpick test. But also, when the cake pulls away from the sides and from the inner circle, that'll tell you it's done too, or you see the cake starting to crack. That's when you know it's done for sure, when it starts cracking, you know, because it's getting overdone. So you want to be careful now, anywhere from 55, 60 minutes around in there till the toothpick test comes out clean, or if it starts to separate from the sides, inner and outside. Then, when it pulls away from those sides, you know it's done. You can take it out. Then you want to let it rest for an hour on the counter. And then put that in the refrigerator for about 3 hours or overnight so that it sets very well. You want that egg custard, the flan part, to set. Then we can invert it and put it on our serving plate and serve it. And wait till you see it. Oh, it is so beautiful. It is just gorgeous. So those are our 2 rich, tasty, time-consuming treats. We'll be back to serve when everything's all done. And these are the wonderful desserts. Oh, Callie, don't those look gorgeous? They're so beauteous. And this is the traditional Southern pecan pie, or the pecan pie made with maple syrup rather than Karo syrup. Boy, did that ever turn out pretty. And the Devil's Food Flan Cake. Oh, isn't that just gorgeous? Look at the shine of the caramel coming over the top of the flan. See, you know, this is the flan, the custard part. So that's why you need the hot water bath to cook that off. And then you got the chocolate cake underneath, all the oozy-goozy caramel over. Oh, now I just need some whipping cream for the pumpkin pie, Callie Allies. Oh, oh, there's trouble. See, desserts are all done. She's all ready. Comes out of hiding when the food's all done. Oh, so I really hope you enjoyed the show today. Boy, these treats are delicious. Oh my Lord, just look at them. Oh. I've tasted these before and they are just so to die for. They're just, Uncle Roy's got to shoot up quite a bit of insulin to eat these. Oh my Lord, these are just too rich. Very, very rich. And I do have whipping cream in the refrigerator. I got sugar-free. I don't know if that'll serve any purpose or not. It's fine looking pretty, but sugar-free whipping cream on top of these, oh, this defeats the purpose. Well, this is the part of the show where Callie and I answer questions from you, the viewers. If you have any questions for us on cooking, canning, baking, even gardening tips, which we do when the season starts, feel free to write us at the Northwoods Cooking Show at yahoo.com. And we'll try to answer your questions the best we possibly can. Let's see who wrote us this week, Miss Callie Allies.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog.
Oh, Callie Allies, come here. Oh, tweets. get over here in positions. Oh.
Who let the dog out?
Oh, who let the dog? Oh, it's something so pretty. Yeah. That are the cakes. Dear Uncle Roy, Miss Callie, I was wondering if putting lemons, oranges, etc. inside and onions inside your chicken really adds any flavor or not. Signed, Mona of, what is that, Callie? Los Alamos, New Mexico. Oh, hello, Los Alamos. Those are our friends again in New Mexico. Yeah, one of our sister cities. Hello. There's two answers to that. I want to say no and yes. Because whenever you stuff herbs or vegetables, etc., inside your birds, it really doesn't add any flavor to the chicken because your meat's on top, on the outside of the skeleton. There's a thin membrane that goes over that skeleton inside the chicken. And so that prevents those flavors from really to being absorbed like you really want them to be. It does add great flavor though to your stock and juices inside the pan so you can make wonderful flavored gravies. But the best way they found is taking the skin, peeling it up, cutting out that membrane inside, and stuffing your garlic or herbs between the skin and the meat. You can do that by on the breast, top of the breast there. Just lift that up and take a sharp knife and just cut that membrane as you're lifting up the skin. Then you get a nice pocket in there and you can put your herbs and garlic and pepper and salt, whatever you want to flavor inside there. Lemon peels, orange peels, etc. And then put that flat back down. And that's going to add more flavor to your meat then. So we hope that answers your questions, Mona. No, it doesn't really add flavor so much to the chicken as it does to the stock. But yes, you can add flavor to the birds if you put them underneath the skin, between the meat and the skin. So from Miss Callie and I, Ellie and I, the impatient dessert wanter eater. Look at her, she's just staring at that cake. She loves cakers. Look at her, starting to drool. Oh, what did I say? Eat healthy, be safe, spread the sunshine. And goodbye, everybody. Say goodbye, Callie, Ellie. Oh, what's your way back there? Bye-bye. Goodbye. Good night, good night. Oh.
Powder your face with sunshine.